Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Missing Gear. Matt, Joey just threw a fucking wrench in our predictions for the playoffs.
Yeah,
it's killing me.
It's
killing
screwed.
me. It's hurting right now because I'm hurting because after we made our picks last week, I immediately thought, why didn't I pick Penske for a team? Because Brad's good, Joey's good. Hell. Blaney might do what he should have done in round one.
That's fair.
And honestly, it's killing me because I've been so much better than you in the picks, but I just make these dumb things. I just do these dumb fucking things.
Yes.
Like the 10-point All-Star Break Challenge, which we didn't even do on a podcast.
Damn.
And the regular season championship, where I let you pick first. And who'd you pick, Matt? Who'd you pick?
Kevin Harvick.
I picked Joey. And then Joey just took the summer off. He took the fucking summer off, Matt. He took the summer off, and then he showed up for the playoffs. And he showed up for the playoffs with piss and vinegar. And he's been running really, really good. And it was kind of a long time. He was due for one because he was running good all playoffs long. All fucking playoffs long. But I thought, you know what? It's not meant to be. He's not going to make the round of four. Or even if he makes the round of four, he's going to be the guy on points. But nope. He just went out, and the motherfucker beat the closer. So you want to know what I'm doing? I'm cracking this Busch Latte right now. And I'm going to drink this one, and I'm going to drink the other one in front of me. And then I'm not going to eat again until one of my fucking picks win.
Yeah, you'll eat tomorrow morning, right?
Nope.
Bet.
Matt, I am a man of my word on this podcast. I'm not fucking eating again. Matt, I'm wearing sweatpants right now. I got Crocs on. I couldn't even put on real shoes. I'm going through stuff right now. Depression. I'm wearing my fucking zip-up hoodie. I'm living just... I'm living a pre-self-help book.
Little time out. Is that an Under Armour shirt? I see that, and I think the Holy Rock when I see the Under Armour.
I need the Rock right now.
You do need the Rock right now.
But no,
you need a rock. You need a rock of a pick is what you need.
Yes. I need Cendric to win a race because I can tell you this right now. I'm picking Cendric again. That's going to be 4 weeks in a row.
I'm going to pick Briscoe again because I don't care. He's one of the best.
God damn it. I'm going to take a tug again.
I don't know why you don't pick Briscoe. I mean, he has the most wins.
Cendric's going to get one. Now he's due. 4 weeks in a row, I'm taking him again. Fucking Joey, man. Fucking Joey. Had a great race. I thought it was going to be Hamlin week. And then I thought it was going to be Chase, especially after Hamlin fucking threw himself into the wall there.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank God he won stage one because he at least kept a lot of his buffer.
Yeah.
And I mean, he finished 15th. And he got those stage points, so it wasn't a horrible day.
Yeah, it wasn't. He rebounded enough to where he made it not a horrible day. It wasn't like Kurt Busch, which sucked because there was literally nothing he can do. And he actually had a great day. Yes. He didn't get stage points, but he was running well in the last stage to where he could have at least finished well.
But I like how Kurt Busch crashed out because... we're going to see the best Kurt Busch we could see at Texas and Martinsville. And if I remember right, he's pretty good at Martinsville. So that will be interesting.
There are a lot of drivers that are good at Martinsville. I look at Martinsville.
Kurt Busch going...
I look at Martinsville and I'm circling big old Brad K for Martinsville. Now, I might be a little... might be a little early.
I think we're getting in...
I might be a little early on that, and I'm not saying that's my pick,
picks.
But...
I think we have the same picks. Jesus Christ.
As long as you don't pick Austin Dillon to win Texas again.
Oh, I'll kill myself before I do that. I'm kill myself.
I'm glad.
But this really threw a whole wrench through the championship 4.
It really did, because we originally... Joey wasn't even in any of our 5 picks because I know we picked the same 3, and then I picked Chase and you had Brad.
It basically came down to, do you think it's going to be Chase or Brad? And then MTJ, we just expected to survive, win a playoff race. And Harvick and Hamlin, I'd say they're a pretty safe bet.
I think they still are a safe bet.
They're almost a lock.
Especially Harvick, because I think he's like plus 60 still. And I mean, he can, if he has an okay race at Texas, he can lock his way in almost before the race starts at Martinsville. He has that many playoff points. It's
Hamlin will do great at Texas, and then Hamlin's also great at Martinsville. So I think that he'll make it in. But, I mean, is Brad out? Has Joey made it so that he's the only Penske driver? Brad had a great race. He finished 4th, but Alex Bowman, too. He finished 3rd. He's still hanging around. I was going to
talk about that. Winners from this race was Alex Bowman.
Pissed me off.
Unbelievable race from that guy. I don't, when I say mile and a half, I just, for some reason, don't correlate that to Alex Bowman. But he has run consistently well at mile and a half.
Yes.
I just don't know what it is. But he's just there at the end. And he's just been one of the best Chevrolets. And really, the whole mile and a half program for Hendrick has just stepped up this last year. Especially from Chase and Alex. William Byron, sorry, he's just not that great. And Jimmy, he's had some good races. He was in contention at Charlotte, where he then got DQ'd. Even the other Charlotte race, he had a top 10.
He then got DQ'd.
I know, it sucks. The spring Texas race, he had a great run, and I'm pretty sure he got spun out or something happened. Kentucky, same thing. He's had a great race, and he got spun out or something happened. And he's had some decent finishes. It's just, I don't know, the whole Chevy camp has improved their mile and a half speed, and that's been pleasant to see. And that'll at least continue on to next year now with the Gen 7 guard being pushed back. To get to what I was trying to say was winners and losers from the race. Alex was a clear winner. Obviously, Joey, he won, and Joey was holding off at the end.
Joey beat the
prime
closer.
Kevin Harvick, a prime time Kevin Harvick.
The best Kevin Harvick we've ever seen.
Absolutely, hands down. Like, that was a prime Kevin Harvick. And watching the race, 25 to go, I thought Joey Logano's car is going to fall off. He's pushing it too hard. And then I thought Kevin Harvick's car usually comes around at the end.
So great at defense. Joey was so great at defense.
The broadcasters were sucking his dick on blocking.
Yes.
They're like, Joey Logano is the best blocker, and look at that block.
I don't know if it was this week or last week, but they brought up, was he harder to block than Newman?
Oh, and that was this week.
Yeah,
that was this week.
I think it was because.
And then Dale was like, "Well, there's a difference between blocking and passing, and Ryan Newman will just race you really hard." And then I'm like,
"Yep, they still are sucking Newman's dick."
But so big,
guys. Newman got his last win in 2017. The last time he was ever relevant for anything was probably the inaugural playoff, but he didn't even win a race that year.
In terms of relevance,
2017 when he got that last victory.
It was 2020 at the Daytona crash, because that was the last time his name was brought up. Okay. I mean, like, brought up.
Well, I mean, relevance. As a competitive racer.
As a competitive racer, then yes, it would be 2014, when he was second, and he didn't even win a race that year.
Yeah. And then he got his final win in, 2017, and I think it was Phoenix. But, I mean, he was already washed. Well, you can't really say that he was, super washed in 2014, because he fucking crafted his way all the way to second place.
He fully did, and he was close to winning that, too.
It was scary. He was going to win that. It felt like he was going to win one race, and it felt like it was going to be a Matt Kenseth season.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
But, the last time he was consistently great, I'd say it was, 2013, his last,
I was thinking,
Stuart Haas year.
I was thinking before Stuart Haas. I was thinking, 2009.
Well, that was the last time he was hey, it's the preseason. I'm picking Newman for a championship. That was pre-Stuart Haas. That was end of Penske. But by the end of Penske, he wasn't that great. He's a guy who could stack wins together really early in his career, but he also crashed a lot really early in his career.
Fun fact, in 2001, Ryan Newman won the Rookie of the Year over Jimmy Johnson.
It's been a fun fact about 3 times on this podcast.
Honestly, don't care. I'll keep bringing it up. Don't give a fuck. Jimmy won 3 races that year too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
How? What the fuck?
Yep. And 2003, I think that like everybody was super offended when Kenseth won that championship because I think that was the year where fucking Newman had like 6 wins.
Yep.
But Newman also just he crashed a bunch and he wasn't as consistent. He was just really good at winning races.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I guess back to our topic of winners and losers, I'm going to put Chase Elliott in the loser category because I think Chase had a real good shot at winning.
I think he did too. I really do.
He had those communication problems, and it didn't happen for him. And now Logano won. And Chase has kind of shit the bed in the round of 8 in the past.
He has, but I could still see him getting in. He's had a good enough run last week.
The 1.5
I don't think it
program
was
is pretty good.
I don't think it was that bad. That
Martinsville, he'll be good.
Yeah, and I don't think last week was that bad to where he put himself out. Like Kurt Busch is now in a must-win. There's no way he's putting his way in. He has to win one of the 2 races. I don't think he will. But
that's what makes Kurt dangerous. So
exactly.
I would give Kurt a solid 10% chance going into both these races that he just goes all fucking out and gets victory.
I think it's going to have to be a strategy call. I don't think he's going to have the raw speed to do it.
It might have to be a Las Vegas where he just makes a strategy call and then you just pray that, there's
everything fucking works out and clean
35 laps to go and you can make it on 2 tires and you can just block like fucking Joey.
Yeah.
You just got to you got to defend like Joey.
I can agree with that. But again, Chase is in a good spot, in my opinion. He won a stage. He got a good amount of stage points.
I'm just saying he might have been the 4th guy if everything that we expected to happen, a.k.a. Brad gets one, Martin Truex Jr. gets one, and Hamlin or Harvick get one.
Well, I don't think Brad was a guarantee to get one. I think Kevin and Harvick were like locks, and then it was okay. Well, Martin Truex Jr. has been very consistent going into the playoffs, so I expect the same in the playoffs. And then the last one's kind of a crapshoot of who you think is going to do better. You chose Brad. I can decently agree with that pick, but I didn't want to pick the same picks because what's the fun in that?
Yes.
So I went with Chase because I thought Chase could finally put himself into the last race and at least give him a chance. Do I think he would win in the last round of 4? No, but I think he could at least get there to have an opportunity.
And I mean, here's the sad thing about Joey getting into the playoffs. The 4 best drivers, in my mind, it's become pretty clear-cut. It's Harvick 1, Hamlin 2, Brad 3, and Chase 4. And you might move Chase and Brad around depending on your bend.
Yes, I agree with that.
That's the top 4, and now one of them is definitely out, and possibly 2.
In the playoffs, especially in the playoffs, because Martin Truex Jr., in my opinion, should have more wins than 1 this season.
He's had a very, very good,
He's had a very, very consistent season, and I think he would be hot.
The wins just haven't happened.
The wins weren't there for him. And, I mean, you could honestly say the same with Ryan, but I think Blaney was a little bit less consistent.
Well, Blaney just fell off at the wrong time.
But MTJ was very consistent going into the playoffs. I mean, he had a 7-race streak of top 3 finishes, I think. Unreal. Unreal streak. And I thought, there's no way this can't not continue. And he's not... I don't think he's digressed or progressed, but I think he's just been the same. And Brad and Chase have just elevated their racing team in the playoffs. I think they just push more. And honestly,
Chase has led every race.
Yes, and I will even say that Alex Bowman has pushed that team higher. I think especially...
I called him a little bitch last week.
Yeah.
But,
he's pushed that team a lot farther to where I didn't even think they were making it to the round of 8. And now looking at how they've been performing... That was a very dumb pick.
I want to take a little credit because I remember when we were doing our first playoff podcast, I said he's the guy. If he could sneak into the round of 8, he could make it to the championship.
I'm not disagreeing.
Now, I didn't pick him for that, which maybe I should have, but I'm still holding out hope that cosmic justice happens, and it's Brad, it's Hamlin, and it's Harvick, along with Joey.
Yeah. And you know what? To Joey's defense... He obviously won. He's in the championship 4, and he won the spring Phoenix race.
There are 3 types of...
He
won the Phoenix
has
race.
Just as much of a chance to win now as the other guys, in my opinion.
And I mean,
I really do, because I compare this to 2 years ago. 2018, he won the Martinsville race, knocked MTJ out of the way to win the race, and he was the fourth guy that year, because it was like 2018 was the MTJ, Kyle Busch, and Kevin Harvick show. It was the big 3. And some
of the most boring racing ever, it felt like, at times.
At times, I agree. Besides, that Mark Truex Jr. race was fantastic. But what I'm trying to say is that you didn't pick Joey Logano
almost every fucking lap. I remember watching that.
You didn't pick Joey Logano to win that
2015
championship.
Was supposed to be his year, but he flat out stole it in 2018, which...
He did.
I'm trying to remember who won in 2015. Was that
Kyle
was
Busch
the first Kyle Busch year?
Yes, it was.
Well, he stole it from Kyle Busch a year that Kyle Busch probably should have won it.
Yes, I agree. Somewhat agree. I actually think MTJ was the best car that year in 2018.
But I mean, one of the big 3.
He was. Yeah, I think it should have either been MTJ or Kyle Busch, because Kevin Harvick was there in 3rd, but Kevin Harvick was there just because he had a few more wins.
Never count out the closer as I crack another Busch latte.
Busch. Not sponsored. I could still see, though, Joey Logano winning this thing. Now
but also continue.
Now that he got into the championship 4, I think he is just, like I said before, I think he is just as good a shot as any to win this thing. And now he has a few more weeks to prepare. I don't know. At Phoenix. I don't know the ins and outs of the sport well enough to know if that matters or not.
Penske's whole program is good at Phoenix.
That I could. Well, the Fords especially are good at Phoenix.
Yes, I mean,
but
Brad
now bring it back to last
won
year.
That Richmond race outright. That was a very impressive victory.
Yes. Now bring it back to last year. Denny Hamlin won the Fall Phoenix race. Now you look at Phoenix.
It's Harvick's track too.
It's fucking Harvick's track.
It's fucking excellent.
Championship is really setting up to be a great one, and I'm very excited to see this at Phoenix this year and not Homestead. I know next year, 2021 schedule. Talked about it a lot. They're racing again at Phoenix. I would like to see NASCAR kind of switch between a few tracks. Like every year, 2 years or so, switch it up.
2 years at one, do 2 years at another.
Maybe like between like 5 tracks, maybe 4 tracks. I don't need to see it rotate to every track because I don't want to see a championship at a road course, honestly. I love road courses, but I don't want to see it at a road course.
Although, if Chase Elliott's like 35
and they have it at a road course,
pretty desperate, they might move it to
a
road course.
They might, but
which I'm all right with if it's Road America.
Oh fuck yeah! Absolutely, bring it on.
Bring it on.
But
Road America.
I would like
got snow tires.
Yeah,
put some chains on.
It's a good point. I would like to see, like, Phoenix is a great one. Homestead is a good one, but I think I'd almost like fucking throw Darlington in there. I think would be great.
Oh yes.
I think would be fucking fantastic.
Just fucking move the Southern 500 there. Oh.
I do not in my entire life want to see it at Atlanta, but I guarantee they're going to do it at least once.
Well, Atlanta's a good 1.5 track. Now it's.
I think I would rather see it. I think I'd rather see it at Charlotte.
I would love Charlotte.
In my opinion,
like Charlotte.
I just love everything around Charlotte, and it'd be a short drive for all the teams. But a few of those tracks.
I'd go on a road trip there.
Yeah,
are we trying to play in 2021?
No, but we're not there yet. But what I'm trying to get at is
road trip.
There's a lot of great tracks out there that could host it, and they have the capability of hosting it. We'll see what NASCAR does. I mean,
like New Hampshire.
Fuck no.
I know. I said that just to hear that.
I know. But again, we talked 3 weeks ago now. No, maybe a month ago now about the 2021 schedule. Very excited for that.
Ooh, that bonus pod.
I'm excited for that as a whole, just to see what comes out of that. We'll talk more of that next year. But back to Kansas, the restarts have been fantastic there with this race package. Awesome. I know a lot of people don't like this race package, and I love this package.
They can suck a dick.
I since they introduced this package, and I know that every year is technically a new package. Since they kind of came out with this package, 2019 2019, I believe. Last year was the first year they did it. I believe so. I've seen a dramatic increase between 2018 and 2019, in my opinion. The cars don't seem like they get strung out as much, especially Kansas. Like, there was never a really, really big lead. Like, oh my God, he's like 5 seconds ahead of everybody.
I mean, Harvick stayed on, I think
Harvick
it was Chase's ass.
In the beginning?
Or Hamlin's ass, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Harvick was almost always either leading or in second or like fourth, but coming up to the front. And Brad was always in the mix as well.
But I mean, Harvick was only 0.3 behind Logano the last like 40 laps. I mean, Joey couldn't pull away, and Harvick just couldn't pass him. I don't know. A lot of people complain that they get up to him and they stall out. I don't give a shit if the drivers are. If the drivers are complaining, it's working. It's giving me good racing, right? I want them to complain because it's supposed to be hard.
Let them get pissed off.
It's
Let
supposed
them do
to be
something irrational.
Yeah.
Let them start fucking fights.
Well, right.
Like, the best thing about NASCAR is after the race, there's a chance someone's getting punched. Because they're still not, like, the whole world's going one way, where it seems like, I call it the pacification of America.
Yeah.
And it's slowly infusing sports, but not NASCAR. NASCAR, every once in a while, and that's why I like the Penske's, because every once in a while, someone wants to punch them.
Yeah. But
someone wants to punch him, and that's America. I fucking love it.
Fucking America. I like the package. I think the racing has been a lot better, especially the mile and a half. In my opinion, have gotten more exciting, and that's really where the racing has lacked, in my opinion. Besides, I don't think Richmond's that great of a short track. In my own opinion, I want to see more short tracks. Maybe not 2 Richmond races. Okay, come at me, bro. Real quick, I want to take a break. I want to talk about to go on our Facebook page, like us, subscribe on our YouTube channel, email us at missingyouropodcast.com. Before we switch subjects, I just want to say you can email us. We did sell out of shirts.
Yes, we did. Very proud of that.
Very proud of that.
We didn't think we would.
We didn't. Now, I'm going to be honest. We didn't sell a lot, or we didn't give away a lot, I should say. But you can still email us. We might give you one. So, missinggearpodcast@gmail.com. So, Dylan, let's hit to the next topic. What do we got for news this week?
Silly season, my friend.
Big topic right now.
Week.
Silly season.
I want to start with perhaps the most impactful thing that happened over the next couple of years. And there were 2 really big things, but honestly, I think that this one's more important.
I hope
Chase Briscoe
yes,
is going to 14.
Sir.
He's going to restore the legitimacy of the 14.
This was an obvious move after Clint announced he was retiring. Now, I will say, I obviously can't have an interview with Chase Briscoe like Dale Earnhardt Jr. did, but I did listen to the interview that Chase Briscoe had with the Dirty Mo Media and the Dale Jr.
I was actually unaware that happened, but god damn it.
Just this week,
I did listen to a Danica Patrick interview with Ryan Holiday of the Daily Stoic, and that was very interesting.
Interesting. But I will say, hold on now.
I want to go on Amazon and buy Ryan Holiday's new book, Stillness is the Key. For those that can't see, I'm holding one up right now. I happen to have it in my backpack. It was about a B+ of an interview, but Ryan Holiday is a pretty cool guy, and you should check him out.
All right, kind of an interesting plug,
but
let's go back. Let's go back. I want to talk about some Chase
bring
Briscoe. I listened to the
Holiday,
podcast.
Retweet this.
I listened to the podcast. It was very cool to hear a story about how he came up in the sport. I obviously didn't have a lot of background on Chase Briscoe. You're a big fan. Chase Briscoe, huge fan.
Dude,
you're a big fan. The few, the proud, the Fords.
The few, the proud, the Fords.
I know.
I coined the term, and honestly, they may, after Joey and Brad move on or stop being good, they might be my new favorites.
They're the next 2. They're the next 2. I will say, I like Chase Briscoe a lot. I like Chase Briscoe a lot more about Austin Cindric from the fact that I feel like Austin Cindric, a little bit, Daddy's in a position to where he can get to that point. But Not to say he's not good.
Although
he's performed.
Cindric has proved himself this year.
Cindric has absolutely proved himself.
But I think it's smart that he runs one more year in Xfinity.
Cindric?
And now he has, and now
he
has the added pressure that he knows he's going to Cup. And he knows that he's going with the new Gen 7 car, which there's going to be pressure on him. He has to be the favorite next year.
For Xfinity, absolutely.
And anything less than a victory is a failure. It's an absolute failure. Or anything less than
a championship, really a championship.
A championship, that's what I meant, is a failure.
I agree.
Like, he has to dominate in a way that Chase Briscoe has this season and finish the job, which we're going to see if Briscoe finishes the job. But honestly, he's the Xfinity driver of the year if he just gets 3 DNFs in a row from this point.
Oh, I fully agree.
The man's won the most wins by a full-time Xfinity non-Cup guy ever.
Yeah.
I don't think Sam Aird, I think his name is, ever won 9.
Yeah. Yep. I think it was 8 was the record.
Yep.
Was the record. I think I'm excited to see
non-Kyle Busch record.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Chase up, but the story of Chase Briscoe getting a ride, and he grinded for his for his ride and anything he could do. Really just a blue-collar guy. I am a fan of Chase Briscoe. I really do hope he gets some wins next year in the
I'd
Cup.
like to see him get one.
Love to see him get at least one. And I see Stewart-Haas really shifting gears from kind of what they were before.
They're not missing a gear.
Good one. They were before a lot of just veteran drivers. I mean, Kevin Harvick, they had Newman in there, Clint Boyer, Kurt Busch, just veteran guy. Now they're kind of seeing, okay, we got some young talent. Let's pull some of these guys in. Cole Custer this year had a win.
Cole Custer will be
really. I will
good
give
driver.
I think he will. He will develop. I really want to see him after next year in 2022 once we get to the Gen 7 car, because I think, I mean, they can learn a lot next year,
new world.
but I feel like the Gen 7 car is going to be a whole new beast in and of itself. So just.
And I've heard a lot of criticism about, well, why are you moving Chase Briscoe up for 1 year and then the whole car is going to change? Well, he's going to get a race against Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin. Like, do you not think that Tyler Reddick right now is improving just by the fact that he's going up against these guys?
And Christopher Bell and
Christopher
Cole
Bell
Custer
got a top 10 this week in a race where there's 8 playoff drivers. He beat some of the playoff drivers this
in
week.
B-level equipment too.
I mean, yeah,
There is some
they got the Alliance, but like it's not not the same equipment.
No, it's not.
It's Ross Dress for Less equipment.
It is.
It's Ross Dress for Less JGR.
You've said that before, and I agree. But I think that those 3 are going to do great things in the sport. I think Chase Briscoe will. I think Austin Cindric will. A few of the other rookies that came up, I mean, right now, William Byron isn't doing a lot for me. My opinion. He hasn't.
I mean, I think he sucks. I think he sucks.
Maybe he's just not gelling as well as he should with Chad Knaus. Because, I mean, Chad Knaus has been doing this for how many years with the greatest of all time? I mean, with the GOAT.
Although, I mean, maybe I shouldn't criticize Willie B as hard as I am, because he did
get you 5 points.
He got me that Coke 400 victory.
He won crapshoot.
He won my most despised race.
Yes,
and it was a good race, but he won my most despised race. He broke your heart.
He didn't break my heart.
He shattered your heart.
Nearly as much as Austin Dillon did, because Austin Dillon, that fuck of a guy, took my spot from Jimmy. I think Austin Dillon or William Byron was going to win that race. I was kind of just okay with it.
Here's what Austin Dillon did. He stabbed you with the switchblade.
Oh, yeah, and he just kept going at me. He just kept stabbing me.
Well, no. And then we got to the Coke 400, and throughout that race, you saw Jimmy having some real potential to win it, and it was just getting sewed up. And then all of a sudden, Jimmy crashed out, and Willie B just grabbed your fucking skin
right open.
And ripped it open, and you bled right out. But yeah, anyway,
thank you for opening that
off topic. But he's had a couple of moments where like he was leading the Roval for a while, But he hasn't been able to do shit.
He hasn't been. With a great crew chief. You can't even blame it on the crew chief. I think Chad Knaus is fantastic.
Chad
or
Knaus, future,
maybe
improved
hold
guy.
on.
I'm vice president of competition.
Hold on. Now here's a hot topic. Is Chad Knaus overhyped because of Jimmy Johnson's success? Is it
This
the
is
point?
Bill Belichick and Tom Brady right
I'm just
now.
saying, but is Chad Knaus a little overhyped because of Jimmy? No, I'm not saying Jimmy. Now, I will
Chicken
say,
or the egg,
hold
Matt?
on. Let me finish before you interrupt. Jimmy has not won a race since he was with Chad. I get it. All right, listen. Jimmy hasn't been.
Chad won a
performing.
crapshoot race, though.
But Chad won a
That
crapshoot
Jimmy-
race.
that
Chad
Jimmy
hasn't. Chad hasn't won a straight out race with William Byron. Now I understand we're talking 7-time and
I get it.
fucking
Okay.
Willie B right here.
there
But hold
are
on.
three
Hold
types
on.
of victories.
Hold on. I'm not done.
Whoa.
I said let me finish. I want to finish my point here. Chad Knaus is with William Byron. I get it. He's a new guy. He's younger. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing half the time. But he won, like you said, a crapshoot race. The Coke 400 is, I mean, any super speedway race is just it's a real fucking crapshoot. I think you need some skill, but I don't think you need, oh my god, you went out there and you won like the Watkins Glen or something like that.
There are three types
And-
of wins, Matt. There are outright wins, there are opportunity wins, and there are strategy wins. And the only way that you can really win a super speedway is opportunity and strategy. And honestly, it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
So you can credit a crew chief to both of those more than a outright victory necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But so you got to give Chad that, but also like, didn't Jimmy almost? I think they just need each other, and it's chicken and the egg.
They do.
They
need each other. And Jimmy has done more than Willie has done.
I don't think
Since
this is
they-
Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy.
Well, no,
Put it
because
lightly.
Aaron did not need Mike.
No,
Aaron needed Mike gone.
Mike McCarthy was just looking at a Denny's menu the whole
Yes.
fucking last 5 years.
Oh,
that he was there.
abso-fucking-lutely.
I
Mike-
hate Mike McCarthy.
So do I.
He's the biggest douche. He made me stop rooting for the Packers. Like, I'd go, oh, yeah, the Packers, yeah. And I wouldn't give one shit about him because I hated watching that fucking offense. Like, the last 5 years he was
is
there.
an awful coach.
He's the worst.
Awful.
He is
Did
so bland. He never adjusts.
Let me say
It's
this.
just the most milquetoast thing I've ever
Hold
seen.
on, I agree. I
It
agree.
makes me
Hold
want to
on.
just take this hammer and punch myself
Hold
in the
on.
fucking face.
Now, I listen to the Pat McAfee show every Tuesday because Aaron Rodgers is on.
He's a funny fucking guy.
And I love that show.
We're
I'll listen
plugging
to
a lot
it.
of stuff here.
We
today
are.
that doesn't
Hashtag
involve
not
us at all.
sponsored.
Ryan Holiday
And they were
retweet
talking
this.
about how the players of the Dallas Cowboys came out and said that the coaching staff is unprepared. And I heard this.
and
I
they're
just fucking
flat
laughed.
out, and they're just flat out not good at their jobs.
Yes.
That's what the other guy said.
Absolutely
Fucking
fucking
love it.
hilarious. As a Packer fan, I think it's hilarious because I think it's true. Honestly, I've not seen
Fucking horrible.
every defense I see. It's like, oh my god, like the Packers defense. I'm like, awful. Like Mike doesn't. I don't think Mike knows how to coach. Honestly,
No.
I don't. And he was riding. I mean, sucking Aaron's dick to the T
Oh,
to get. If he didn't have
just
Aaron, he'd
working
be
him
fucked.
like a mule.
Absolutely. Just sucking him right off. So bad of a coach. Now, all right, let's switch gears again. I know we've fucking
Switching
roasted Mike McCarthy.
Mike
Some other
McCarthy-
news. Some
Mike
other
McCarthy
silly
is
news.
missing a couple gears.
Some other news. Eric Jones to the 43.
Hate it. Waste of Eric Jones. Eric Jones should be in the 88, and obviously we know who's going in the 88, and we'll touch on that after this. But Eric Jones should be on a better team than RPM. RPM is maybe the most overrated team this decade, or well, this last decade, the 2010s. What was their only win? It was an Eric Almirola. I think it was a rain delay.
No. Ooh, it was. Colt 400 rain delay.
It was a rain delay.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was.
And they were, Oh, the Petty 43s return to Victory Lane. Oh, it's Daytona. Oh, it's great. Well, it was a joke.
You want to know what? You want to know an interesting fact? Spire Motorsports has as many wins as Richard Petty Motorsports does. And they fielded one car for the last, 2 years. 3 years, I think. No, 2 years. And they won in a rain delay Coke fucking 400. Same race. They have as many wins.
Yes.
Unreal.
Really, they're just
fully
doubling
agree.
down for the Coke 400 because that was Eric Jones's first win in 2018.
It was. I agree in the fact that Eric Jones, 43, a waste of talent. I would have liked to see him go to the 88. We both talked about that before. If he's not going to a better team, the 88 really would have been it. And obviously now he's going to the 43. I was hoping, and I think we both were hoping for a Joey Logano moment of he did decent, and then you bring him to a new team, and he just fucking lights out.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I don't think that's happening in 43.
He goes to a place
I don't.
where he can actually develop. Like the thing with Joey was Joey was the fourth guy. Joey went in as the fourth guy, and when you're with Gibbs, you almost can't move up. You're always just going to be the fourth guy.
Yeah. When you have Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin, you are the fourth guy.
It's a rough. If Kyle Busch is really falling off, like maybe he becomes the fourth guy. If he's truly fallen off and he can't win anymore, and Chris Bell steals one early. But
Maybe.
in reality, I think Chris Bell is set up to fail a little bit, or maybe Denny kind of gets gradually shoved out the door, and we'll get to it in a little bit, because Denny's got his own little side hustle going. But I don't know. I don't think Richard Petty knows how to run a team. Or I don't know who's.
I think Richard Petty's too old to know
who's
how to
actually
run a team.
running a team.
Yeah, I mean, I agree,
Like,
but I think Eric Jones, waste of a talent. I would like to have seen him go somewhere else. I think he could do better somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I mean, if Clint's retiring, I honestly think. I mean, I was thinking Clint Boyer go there, but I think if you're RPM, I would have taken Corey LaJoie if Eric Jones didn't have anywhere else to go. Because if you're Eric Jones and you look at it and you're like, all right, this is all I got, I'm taking it, right? I don't blame Eric Jones for that.
Yeah.
If he approached Hendrick Motorsports and said, I want to run the 88 or the 48, depending on how the announcements of everything went and what their negotiations were, and they said, no, we got somebody lined up, I can understand Eric Jones for saying, hey, I at least tried. All right, 43 it is. But if you're the 43 and you don't have anybody come to you, I'm going after Corey LaJoie because his 32 is open.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I would, if I'm RPM, that's an improvement. Maybe not an improvement from Bubba, but that's still an up. It's a driver to where it's an upgrade for Corey LaJoie. And I think he would be happy there of thinking I'll run a little bit better and we can make something happen.
Now, we brought up Bubba, and I want to talk a little bit of Bubba, and this will obviously bleed into the second most impactful silly season thing here. Possibly more impactful than Briscoe, but Briscoe's more of a for sure thing.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird when you compare the careers of Bubba and Eric Jones. They were both awesome truck drivers, but Eric Jones was obviously a far superior truck driver.
Yeah.
Even though Bubba, I will always defend Bubba as a very good truck series driver.
Fully agree.
And just the decent NASCAR talent in general, even though he might not be the best in Cup or Xfinity. And then Eric Jones went and he didn't get the championship in Xfinity, but he won a fair amount of races.
I agree.
And he was very good.
Yes.
And then he got moved up to Gibbs, and he was always the fourth guy, but I mean, he got a win and he made the playoffs in 2 straight years. And yeah, the Coke 400's a little iffy, but he flat out won that Southern 500.
He did,
And
flat out.
I'll never forget
I will never
that.
forget that. I fully agree with you. I will say, actually, go back. Joe Gibbs didn't move him up. He ran 1 year in the 77 at
Yes, he
Furniture
did.
Row.
I mean, it was an alliance, right?
It was at the time, but I will say Um,
Kind of that Christopher
he actually
Bell
had
model.
a good year in that 77, in my opinion. His name was brought up a few times. Mm-hmm. He ran great at Bristol. I remember that race distinctly.
It's kind of almost exactly like how Chris Bell is running now. I mean, a couple of top 5s, some top 10s. I mean, he's getting a top 10 in the playoffs. That's what Chris Bell is doing right now.
Yeah, and B-level equipment. There's some big things coming from Chris Bell, in my opinion. And Tyler Reddick. I'm going to switch gears here again. I would like to see, sorry to change subjects so abruptly, but I just had this thought, and I would love to see, I know it'll never happen, RCR just boot Austin Dillon, give him the middle finger. Tyler Reddick, you're our guy. We're going to bring in honestly, I'd love to see that. That's where I'd love to see Eric Jones, too.
Mm-hmm.
Bring in Eric Jones to the 3.
Yep.
Maybe not even a 3. Run
Do
the
that stupid
31
little
or
analytics
something.
thing from their headquarters.
Yeah, that NBC just jizzes about all the
my God.
fucking time.
Oh.
RCR and their analytics. Ugh. Every fucking buddy does that, dude.
Yep.
Unreal.
Yep.
I would love to see that. Obviously, that won't happen. I just hate Austin Dillon that much. I want to see him out of a cup ride.
I'm wondering what's happening to Ty, but we'll get to that.
That too. Who
But,
knows what's going to happen? I would like to see. I think we talked about this earlier. I'd like to see Ty go down to Colleague Racing and run a full season there.
Mm-hmm. That would be interesting.
I think that'd be good for him.
That'd be interesting, but I would rather see Allmendinger.
I would
Either
rather
go
see
full-time
Allmendinger. No,
in
I agree.
16.
I'd like to see 3 full-time cars from Colleague Racing because Allmendinger doesn't run all the racing. Give Allmendinger the 16 all season. Keep Justin Haley in there full-time.
Put
And
Ty Dillon in.
Give me a Ty Dillon in there. See how they do.
Or, just bring back the 3, and I guess you could still keep the 21. Maybe you commit to, Kaz Gralla or Anthony Alfredo. I think those are 2 because I don't think you're going. I don't think you're going Hemrick, right? Or wait, it was Hemrick.
No, Hemrick was
Hemrick
junior.
was junior. Sorry,
But they announced this morning.
I get my random Chevys mixed up.
Junior Motorsports announced this morning that was it Josh Berry, I believe, is going to the 8 for the first half, and then I believe Sam Mayer will be taking over the 8 the second half, if I'm not mistaken.
Love me some Sam Mayer.
So I know we like some Sam
Good
Mayer.
Wisco boy.
Yeah, big old Wisco
Yeah.
boy. I do like some Sam Mayer, and then he will be running full time in 2022 for that organization, full time.
Can't wait.
So I'm excited for that. But that's what I was trying to say is Daniel Hemrick I don't think has a ride next year. Somebody could pick up Daniel Hemrick as I think an Xfinity ride. Give him a full year in Xfinity again
Let's see what he can
and
do.
see what he can do. He had a full year with RCR in the Xfinity. He didn't win a race. He came awfully fucking close.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went up to Cup, I think a little bit too prematurely. And then they booted him again, I think prematurely.
And then he only got a part-time Xfinity.
And he got
ride.
a part-time Xfinity gig. And he
And it's
ran
a good
the
team,
last
but
4
yeah.
races he ran for Junior Motorsports. He got a top 5 finish. That's 4 races, top 5 finish. He has the talent to run good. He just, honestly, I think is just a little unlucky that he hasn't won yet.
He just hasn't been able to fully put it together.
I could say that too, yeah. Very awfully close. Very close to winning a race. But I'd like to see Daniel Hemrick in a full-time Xfinity ride next year. Where, I don't know. Who? Don't know even. I don't even know all the contracts and who's up, and the Xfinity is a whole other thing. But to bleed into some Xfinity, obviously we know Chase Briscoe's going up.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Cedric's going up 2022. Who's the next guy?
So I think
Who is the guy?
So I think it's, in my mind, there's a new big 3 coming, and it's going to be Justin Haley, number 1.
Fully agree.
Just because
hands fucking down.
Just because he's good at placing like Cendric was, and he's an excellent, basically, okay, so Cendric could win at road courses, and then he could place very well at basically any other track.
Yes.
But road courses were his ace, and then eventually he stayed in long enough and he developed, and now he's really good at 1.5s. He's really good at the intermediate
He's really good
tracks.
everywhere, yeah. But
Yeah. Now he's become a fully formed racer. And Justin Haley's almost like that if you take out the road courses and you put in the super speedways. He's
Fully
won
agree.
3 super speedways in a row. And he, granted,
Granted,
it was a
us,
weird
AJ
cup victory.
Allmendinger. But he also won the Cup. I will say, granted, it was a rain delay. Win's a win. He won the Cup.
In
Colt 400 last
2018,
year.
he was going to win that. He's going to win that.
The Daytona race, where he got
race.
double lined,
Yeah.
which we talked about last week.
But
could've
really,
won
he
that
just
race.
needs to put it together fully, and he's got it.
And
then I
he
think,
has speed. That team has so much speed
Yes.
with how fast they put that team together. So much speed in that team. I agree with your Justin Haley pick.
And then
I want to give a pick here. I want to throw out Noah Gregson
he was going to be my number 2.
as your number 2. I think that he's really, even this season, has come a long way. This
Yes.
season.
He's
with what he's
aggressive,
been
he
done.
seems like a little bit of a dick,
He's
but
got
you
a few
need
more
that in
wins.
sport.
Yeah, he's got a few more wins under his belt. He's gotten more consistent.
He has not won in a long time, but he's also maintained relevance where I think
He has.
our third driver, Harrison Burton, has kind of fallen off, and he's almost not talked about too much. Besides, like, Jeff Burton bringing him up, or, like, Jeff
Yes.
Burton talking about,
Yes.
oh, yeah, son.
Harrison Burton.
But Harrison
probably
Burton,
was my
yeah.
third pick. He'll get there. I think he needs at least another 2 more years.
yes.
And
I
then
mean,
we'll see what
he
comes
almost looked
available.
like he could be fast-tracked early, but he's really fallen off compared to what he was early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, him and Gregson both, but Gregson's been better than him, I feel like. So I'd take Gregson over him, but in reality, I feel like they're the top 3. And, I see, like, Anthony Alfredo, who's been doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And he's young, and he's
Yeah.
in college, and I think he'll turn into at least something.
He could, yeah.
And I could see Kaz Gralla. Kaz Gralla has been okay this season.
He has
He's been pretty
He has
okay.
been.
He's been pretty good.
been.
Sam Mayer, obviously, we're going to see him
We'll see
in the
him.
future.
We'll see him next year.
And I'm really
won that Arca
excited
championship.
because I feel like
I
I'm
am.
getting in on the next Kenseth. The next.
We are.
The next
He is-
local guy.
He's our guy now.
Yeah.
He doesn't even need to be in
I
the
could
Cup
never.
Series.
He
He's
could
our
be the
guy.
biggest jerk in the world, and like he's from Wisconsin.
He's probably my guy. Yeah, he's
I
my
fucking love
guy.
him. Like
He's
I
my
don't know
guy.
if he's a jerk. He seems like a nice kid.
He's at least more of a come up than because Ty Majeski's from Seymour.
Ty Majeski kind of sucked.
Yeah. I mean, he runs trucks. Natalie Decker's also from Wisconsin. She's
Well,
from
no,
Eagle
didn't
River.
they replace Ty Majeski with who was it? Trevor Bain for the rest of the year?
I
Wasn't
don't know if they replaced
wasn't
him
Trevor Bain
necessarily,
selling?
but I
Wasn't
don't trust.
Trevor Bain selling coffee a couple weeks
He
ago?
and remember the 500 interview? They like, what's Trevor Bain up to these days? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing a segment about this for?
That's my second favorite thing. But do you remember Dylan Kwasniewski? He like got the pole for the Xfinity, and he like never ran an Xfinity race before,
Yeah.
and they hyped his ass up.
Oh yeah,
Like all week. And I don't even think he finished the season with, I think it was like Turner Scott, basically pre-colleague.
yeah.
That like Chevy team that didn't have like that didn't have a Cup affiliate,
Yeah.
but like they're probably the best non-Cup affiliated team. I'm getting a little off topic, but that dude is selling real estate now. Or actually, there's one better. Do you remember James Busher? James Busher's coming back this week for I think it's a truck race.
I heard about James.
But James Busher, he's another real estate guy where he just left the sport. He won a truck championship and an Xfinity race, and like 3 years later, he's
See you guys. I'm out.
selling property in fucking South Carolina.
Good for him.
I mean, hey,
Whatever you do,
good
fucking
business to be in.
Do whatever you want, I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, I
Well-
mean, he's coming back this week, and I'm a little excited for
I'd
him.
be excited for that one.
Yeah.
Well, so what other news we got this week? I know we want to talk a little MJ. Little MJ.
Little MJ. Okay, so I want to finish my Bubba point real quick because Bubba's obviously, he's now the cornerstone of the new big team. Anything Michael Jordan does, it's huge. It's super weird that like now Eric Jones is like stuck with Bubba's old shit
Yeah.
team, and Bubba is now at the forefront of like this new Toyota team.
Yep.
There's going to be an alliance with Gibbs. I'm pretty sure they're already talking about it. Michael Jordan's involved, and Bubba didn't even win an Xfinity race. And I know that they kind of moved him up a little fast, but also Bubba was like, he was running for Roush like a year or two after Roush got Chris Buescher the championship.
Yep.
And it's kind of weird how those two, how their careers are doing right now. But Bubba, he's bringing in a lot of sponsorship.
Bubba, that's, I think, the biggest thing. Bubba has brought in so many new
He's
sponsors.
going to have competitive equipment. They're
New
joining
sponsors.
the evil empire, and there's nothing that can really put Michael Jordan under.
Well, I was going to bring that up.
Especially with Denny Hamlin still running for JGR.
That's a good point.
And honestly, in the prime of Denny's career. I mean, Denny probably should have got the championship last year. Obviously, Busch got it.
Obviously, he put too big of a piece of tape on it.
Yep,
Didn't
kind of
help.
killed him.
Kinda
But,
killed him, but it's fine.
This year, I mean, he's probably going to end up in a Kevin Harvick buzzsaw, or even worse, losing at the hands of Logano.
It could happen.
Honestly, it
could
is
happen.
so realistic right now.
is.
It's scary.
It is.
But-
Joey Logano, 2-time
Yes.
champion. Unreal.
Over Denny in his prime.
Last
season.
2 years, prime.
In his
We talked about how much we don't like the playoff system and we can make it better. I think that's part of the reason why I don't like it. But back to the MJ. I'm excited for this team. I know we talked about it earlier. I see big things from them.
2311 Racing. It's a weird name, but also they got
But
the Roman numeral
Yeah,
11.
I'm okay with it. I don't give a
fu-
shit
I
what they
like,
do.
I like it.
I don't
like
care
it.
what they fed me,
23
but I would eat that
The
shit.
23, and I hope if they ever expand to a 2-car team, the 45 is the second car.
Yes.
Jordan's number that he had for like a month when they
Yes.
lost to the Magic. But it was a cool fucking number
was.
right up until they lost to the
was.
Magic. I'm excited for this team. I want to see what they could be, especially when the Gen 7s come in.
Yes.
And everything's a little more even, and Bubba's got all the fucking sponsorship money in the world.
He does. He does have a lot of sponsorships
And
coming in.
he's
I'm
a
excited.
decent driver. He was a very good driver for Petty because he was getting a little more.
He
out
was.
of the
He was
Petty
actually getting
equipment.
better finishes than what they deserved.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that for NASCAR, you need a Bubba Wallace to bring in those sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if he runs 15th every week. I don't give a shit. If he's bringing sponsorships to the sport,
He's bringing
that's all that matters.
the same amount of heat or more heat than Danica Patrick with better results.
Absolutely. Bubba has had way better results. Way better results, in my opinion. That's all. That's something that's good. So let's switch gears here. I know I've said that multiple times this episode now. I'm going to point it out. I know I've said
we get
that
off the
multiple
rails.
times.
We're also really on the rails talking about things. But
Yes.
it's
Our Texas
it's a weird
picks.
podcast.
We didn't even go over where the official points are.
Oof.
And earlier, I know you were on a big binger about it.
So Matt,
Where are the overall points at
I am still within my championship pick
from winning you?
of
From
winning,
Yep.
aka Harvick over Hamlin.
Yep.
But also, Harvick over Hamlin is only like 50% that they win. There's going to be 2 other drivers, so it might not matter at all.
Enjoy getting in.
But right now it's 110 for you to 97 for me.
Okay, so I'm 13 ahead. Okay.
And this
So
one's gonna
how
be
many
rough.
points did we gain any points last week? I don't even remember what my pick was. I'll be honest.
So you had Briscoe, so you got a point for Briscoe.
Thank you.
Son of a bitch.
Thank you.
You had Harvick, and I had Harvick.
Yes, sir.
You son of a bitch. You had JGR, basically Hamlin Insurance.
Yes.
And I had Stuart Haas, which
Basically,
was
you were going all
was
in
a
on-
Joey Block away from glory.
Yes,
Matt,
it was. It was.
Matt,
You
I haven't
could've
taken
gained
a
the
shower
third
in 3 days. The depression level is unbelievable. It's unfathomable.
Just like you're not going to be able to eat for 3 days.
Yeah, I'm not either. Well, it could be a week.
Could be a week and a half.
Matt, all I have to do is hit on one of my picks.
Oh, even manufacturer?
Even
Oh,
manufacturer.
that's fucking stupid.
Matt, I'm not,
I want you to live though.
Matt,
so, okay,
I work
okay.
construction during the week too. Like I'm
I
putting a
know
lot
what
on
you
the
mean.
line if I don't
I
eat.
know. You only have tomorrow. It's fine.
But anyway, and then I had Toyota, my Denny insurance, and you had Ford. So you got a point for Ford, and you got
I got
a point for Briscoe.
2
So it's just
points.
a 2-point gain for
2
you.
points. I'll take whatever I can get.
So you
I
know
gained 2
what?
points
I mean,
this week.
fuck you, but yeah.
I gained 2 points this week.
So I already said Cendric is my Xfinity.
I picked
and he
Briscoe.
is.
I'm
So,
picking Briscoe again.
We, for 4 weeks in a row, have picked the exact same drivers
Yeah.
to varying degrees of success.
Yes.
AKA
How
one
many
person's
points-
got success.
How many points did I get from that Briscoe pick? I think did I get at least 2? Let me look.
1, 2, 3.
3
Wait,
points.
No, I got 1 point. You have gotten 2. You've gotten 2 out of the past 4 weeks.
And you got 1?
Yeah.
I'll take 50% with that pick.
No, I got
Absolutely.
1 out of the last 5 weeks because
Oh.
I was the last person to pick Briscoe.
Okay.
And then you've went on now a 4-week run
4-week
of Briscoe.
binge of Briscoe.
And you're
yeah.
2 for 3 for Brisk. And me, I am not doing so great for Cendric. But he's due. He's due for one.
He is
Matt.
due for one.
So, yeah.
You might get a point with that. I think you will. Cendric could really show himself this week at Texas.
Mm-hmm. So for my cup pick, I'm just going to go to my driver right away. It's going to be Harvick just because I think Harvick is going to want to lock it up. But for my team, I'm picking Penske because Ryan Blaney is very good at Texas. And if one playoff driver, or if one non-playoff driver is going to win, it might as well be Ryan Blaney, who is just an eliminated playoff
And-
driver. And my team, Hamlin's going to really go for it. Kyle Busch is going to try to make one last run at the last 1.5 to try to get one. And MTJ is always in the hunt. And Eric Jones, we brought it up at the last Texas race. Eric Jones is weirdly, ever since he's entered NASCAR, the best Texas driver. He just hasn't won. So if someone steals it from just way outside the playoffs, and honestly, it's the best thing for him if he's going to RPM. Maybe gain a new sponsor.
Yeah.
Texaco, I don't know. That's a pipe dream. But Eric Jones, so I'm picking Toyota for my manufacturer, and then I have that Penske, so that's nice.
I mean,
like that's my picks, and I'm sticking to it.
All right.
I just have to maintain that margin. So really, the worst thing that could happen for me is Clint Boyer gets his last career victory. Because then I don't.
if Clint Boyer gets a W
Because then I don't.
over Jimmy fucking Johnson, Clint Boyer, who's done absolutely fucking nothing. Let me finish.
Clint
Who's
Boyer
done nothing for the
gets
fucking
one
sport.
and Cendric doesn't win, I am completely fucked for a week of my life.
Yeah, I fucking.
That Busch Light is the last piece of calorie that I consume.
Yes, absolutely fucked. Well, so here are my picks. I'm going Ford.
Fuck me.
Kevin Harvick has won 3 of the last Texas races, so I'm kind of pissed. I'm not going to pick Kevin, but I am going to pick Stuart Haas as insurance,
Stewie House.
and I'm going to pick Denny Hamlin as my pick to win. I think he could do it.
Oof.
That's what I got.
Putting me in a scary situation. Basically, it's not looking good. Basically,
If Kevin
Harvick
wins-
wins, I get a 1-point gain, which is all right because I just need Harvick to get into the championship and stay within 15 points of you. And then, what are we going to do if we tie? Should we get into that? Should it be how many drivers we've successfully picked to win?
It will be.
Would that be a fair way to do it?
I have no. Let's figure that out later, Dylan.
Well, no, I feel like we need to hammer it out a couple weeks in advance so we can't try to fuck each other later on.
I think
Should it go by how many direct drivers we've picked for victory?
it's going to take some math, but we go off averaging position of all of our picks. So
No.
say yes, it's going to take some math. So
Matt,
yes,
that is too hard.
yes, I will do the math. I'll figure it out. So if
Well,
Jimmy,
you can't do the math. You'll just rig the number. You'll rig the data.
how the data's right there. So if I pick
Because you think I'm going to
Jimmy,
be able to go through all the data? I don't.
I'll go through the data. I said I will.
Matt, I think
If-
we need to go by direct victories by our drivers.
No, average finish
Why
of
not?
the driver because that's more fair. Because if I pick Martin Truex Jr. and you pick Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex Jr. finished second,
Okay.
and
okay.
Kevin finishes
Compromise.
first, then it'll be
Compromise. Whoa, compromise. What if we include Xfinity in it?
no. I still think it should be average finish of all of our picks. It will take a lot of math, but I think that's the most fair way to do it.
Math.
I will do it. It's not that hard. It's going to be harder to to figure out what all the picks were. Good thing you got them written down, though, because I'd be kind of screwed. But it won't be that bad.
I'm going to start fudging the numbers.
Yeah, okay, done.
No.
It's in there in pen and
not
ink.
much
I know what
effort.
you got. I think that's how we should do it. I think that's the most, in my opinion, fair way to do it.
I don't know, dog. I don't know. But you know what? That's going to be a topic for another week. Guys, please remember to rate, subscribe, tell a friend. Please tell a friend. I beg of you. Please have Ryan Holiday retweet this. Because it's one of my goals in life for Ryan Holiday to retweet my link.
All right, done. Well, thanks for listening, guys.